Hello and welcome to the 1.0 release of Songs of Silence. We're diving in to check out what all the new updates are about today. I have played this game once before when it first released on very early access alpha, the beginning. It just hit its 1.0, or is actually hitting its 1.0 on Wednesday this week. So if you're watching this video on the day it came out, good news, it's out tomorrow. Though you can play the early access stuff now. For those of you who don't know, this is a turn-based strategy game, a little like a 4X, but not quite as much, with auto battler style combat. It is gorgeous. It is visually one of the most stunning games I have played in years. It has an incredible soundtrack. The gameplay has been very, very smooth from what I've done before. And I've been very curious to see where it's evolved over the last year of development. So we're going to play a skirmish map instead of the campaign today so that we can show off a little bit of everything. We're going to play on a small map with both worlds. For those of you who don't know, this game exists in two states. There is a light world and a dark world. And then there are these little things called purgatories that move around the map that connect the two worlds and allow you to jump from one area to the other. We're going to play as you get one of the three factions. You can play as the Thousand Kingdoms. These are basically humans. You can play as the Old Race, which are a bunch of powerful, old-timey people without eyeballs who live in the dark world. And then you can play as the Crusade, who are the invasion force that exists in these connection points that are between worlds. I want to play as the Old Race because they are a fair bit of fun, and they're a little bit unique looking. Particularly, we're going to play as the Constructor as our main hero. For those of you who don't know, this is sort of similar to Heroes in Might and Magic, the way that the game works. It definitely has a bit of a love letter to Heroes of Might and Magic in its style. And we are going to play as a Stone Singer. So, we're playing as the Old Race who live what feels like underground. We're playing as the Constructor, who is a guy who is specifically good with giant construct type things. He's a big monster of a hero. And the specialty that we're going with is specifically around making constructs even crazier. I feel like we're just going to leave all these guys on random and see where the dice rolls. We'll probably end up fighting a few different people as we remember and learn how to play and dive on in. Oop. Excuse me for the music glitch. So, on the world, you can see this is the dark world on this side of the map. And I believe, I can't quite remember how to do it, but if you go to the left of these, oh no, the other way around. We're actually on the light side of the world, and then the dark side is over here. So there are little places on the map that we can dive in between it. But what we want to do is we want to expand out. We want to grab locations. We want to fight neutral armies. Probably not this guy because he looks really big and scary. But I've got to remember exactly how we play on skirmish mode and how the feeling is for everything. I also probably will want to just move a little bit of us around, just a smidge here. Put us in some better locations so that we're not blocking everything off this morning. All right, so we have our army. It is Fyodor Erden first. This is our main character. He is a construct cavalry guardian. This guy here playing the big loot. We have a lancer, which is a ranged construct. And then we have a couple of firstborn civilians who we can use for doing things like building locations for cheaper. Reduces the cost when upgrading building cards. In town, we can do things like summon war titans, summon warriors, summon more civilians. We are probably going to summon some early warriors here. We can upgrade our civilians into warriors. So I tell you what, before we do that, why don't we actually look at the town and see what we could build here. A light link or a constructorium. The constructorium is our special card. And we actually have one already in our capital. This is what allows us to summon the War Titan. So I tell you what, we're going to get these warriors going. Because we've got the money, we're also going to summon some more civilians to sit behind our guy here. Now we can attack this neutral army. It says easy win, so we'll give it a shot and we'll give everybody a little taste of what the combat looks like. So it is an auto battler, but it's an auto battler where you get different abilities, and depending on how you choose to level up your characters, you also get other abilities as the fight goes on. So we can summon a guy in here to do damage and push everyone away. We can also then use this ability to heal up our characters as they take out the last one dude. A sound strategy executed without fail. And we level up. As you level up, you get more cards. And you get to continue to expand outwards. This is a neutral ruin with a small army of chicken cavalry and some rogues, some human rogues, firstborn rogues. But we are actually out of movement points having attacked. So I don't think there's much we can do. The game will work its way through the other players. I'm very curious about this. This was one of my big critiques in the early access, was it did feel like sometimes enemy turns took a really long time. But I think it looks like they've improved on that a little bit. There is a small army over here as well, but I would like to get us our first location. It doesn't tell us whether or not this one's going to be easy. I have noticed these warriors that we have are extremely slow to get to the front lines. But our guy here is an absolute chonk. And our big summon dudes do crazy good damage. So it looks like no problem. We should probably put these civilians behind those knights, seeing as they are ranged. You're saying the title says just chatting? It should not. You might just need to refresh. Just in case, I'm going to fix that again. We've been having a lot of problems with titles on Twitch being very, very glitchy lately. All right, so we've taken the location. And we've got to level up on our hero. We could pick up Call for Aid. Construct transports rush across the battlefield, damaging enemy units and dropping off a group of 4 warriors. A depot. Play on a friendly location and add a depot, which increases the growth by 1 prosperity. Add storage. Allows you to summon transport constructs, acquire building materials. Or we can upgrade our Guardian's Call ability. I like the idea of this depot. Our army grows. We can have 5 units in our army. And we can get some nice upgrades. Now, so this building is in ruins. We can repair it as it becomes a hamlet. So as a hamlet, it's going to give us gold and building materials. What else does the city do for us? It's got no location upgrades, gold, building materials, a fountainhead of light. In order to produce income and prosperity, old race locations, which is us, have to be connected to the fountainhead by placing buildings. Each connected location increases the capital's prosperity by 1. So an idea for that then would be to do something like drop that supply card that we just learned in here. Now we can purchase building materials. And this place should grow faster. So it starts at level 1. It can grow up to, I believe, level 3. Over here, we can actually see a Purgatory, a wild Purgatory. So if we are to march our army over here, we could actually enter somewhere in the Dark World. But in the meantime, we are out of movement. And I don't think we can recruit. I could get more civilians. If I had a bit more him and a bit more building materials, I could summon a transport construct. But I can't really remember what all of them do. So let's end the turn and see what happens. Mac, hello, good morning. Game looks really pretty. It is. It's got an incredible art style. It's got an incredible musical soundtrack. I wish it had a bit more of a neutral zoom out. Like, I'd like to be able to zoom out a bit further without losing that completely. So what do we have up here? We have a bridge location with some good gold. Couple cavalry. And one of those rogues. So an interesting thing about the way that the game works in terms of movement is if you use 50% of your movement, you go into a forced march stance, which means that you cannot, that you, I think, take penalties if you are engaged in combat. Meanwhile, if you move under that and you do something like stay in a forest, you can actually ambush other characters. Over here, we can see there's a fort, a defensive fort. I am worried about this Purgatory, so I'm thinking let's go take this bridge. It's got a natural garrison. We could have it as a choke point and protect us from any attacks from the east. And maybe build up some more guys here. Now, I did forget to put my knights in front of my civilians here, so I am going to lose a couple of guys, stupidly. And my big lord is taking a beating. But the knights are in here now to help out the warriors. Some early casualties. The main map is not battle map, Heroes of Might and Magic, Age of Wonders style. The main map is not the battle map. The battlefield is always just a big square. I think maybe with the possibility of some difference if there's a siege. But I'm pretty sure the siege just means that they get a bunch of garrison units. I'm fairly certain it always ends up being a big square. Game releases on console soon, on Wednesday is when it's meant to. Also, I could have sworn I moved this chat. I must have moved a different chat. So Mawerda Bridge, not upgraded, no light network. It does have a natural garrison here. We could pillage it, but I think what I would like to do is cast light network. Light link adds 2 him income and 1 rank of garrison. So you can see that connects us here. I'm actually not connected to this location yet, though. So I'm probably going to have to take that fort as a neutral point. Light network fountainhead, light network fountainhead. Light network connected. Oh, that counted as a fountainhead. Okay, so that's fine. We are still connected then. So now we get Garrison 3. Each turn, we have a chance to spawn a defensive garrison up to a maximum of 3 units. Garrison units will heal 20% of their health every turn. Said I wanted to put those guys in there. We'll heal a little bit from being in this location as well. And we do have a little supply wagon, a little loot wagon. So if we bring this guy back to our home base, or actually if we bring it to this location, because I built a supply depot here, I believe we can also deposit here. Yes, storage. When an enemy enters a location with storage, all gold stored in loot wagons is automatically added to faction funds, and loot wagons are removed. So this is one of the main ways you get gold, is from bringing back loot wagons. There is another Purgatory right here. Okay, so this is a wild Purgatory, which is just a neutral NPC monster controlled one. This is actually another faction owned by the Crusade. And you have to be careful, because if the Crusade attacks a location and takes it, they can move their Purgatory onto your location and destroy it. So I am really glad that we decided to build a choke point here. This is a strong spot for us to try and hold up in. We're out of movement, so we might as well stay put. If made by the same company as Songs of Conquest, then this is big. It is not. No, they are different companies. They are just happen to having a release on the same day, or on the same week, I should say. Songs of Conquest, Heroes of Might and Magic. The Olden Era is also on the horizon. Ooh. There certainly has been a huge boon of Heroes of Might and Magic games in recent years, and I love it. For 60 gold and 10 him, we can create a new hero on our capital. A constructor, a Mondaka, or an erudite. You are a ranged Banish healer. What does Banish do? You are a ward healer who's a believer leader. I think I'm going to take an erudite. You unlock as you play the game. You also unlock as you complete more skirmish maps and more campaign maps. You unlock more hero types as time goes on. We can add an Erudium building, which adds 7 gold per turn and 1 supply. We also unlock Rose Knights, Alchemical Transmutation, and Purchase Artifacts. She has a big primordial beast, a Purzel, and is riding on top of just this bizarre mount. So I reckon we probably want to buy her some civilians. Arguably, I could upgrade those to warriors. That guy's a beast, so he's just going to trample through everything. You are... Yeah, you are actually ranged, so... Let's be greedy about this. We're going to give her a warrior army. And we're actually going to just put these guys in a line. You can see our garrison has started to form here. So we have little protector constructs, like the baby version of our Lancer. Remaster of Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Songs of Conquest 6. Silence. Multiverse coming soon. God, a man could dream. And then we can actually use these guys to do some scouting. So something I can do is I can set an ambush here. This fort does have walls. Rogues, cavalries. It's not that bad, though. Which makes me feel like we could take it. I think I'm going to leave some units in the garrison here. So this location does not have supply. We don't actually heal at it. This location has some supply, so we heal a little bit here. So I can actually move back down, deposit my loot wagon, and then heal. This area has also got enough to level up. So for 25 supplies, we can build it up. Which I believe just causes it to make more gold, more building materials, more everything, really. It's very good for us. Crane! Thank you for this primer sub for 4 months. I could march out from here, but I'm going to just stay put. And then we'll stay put there. Set ourselves up for a nice ambush. Have I played Gladius? Yes. And the devs, yeah, they made, it's called like Zarkon or Zarkov. A new 4X. I liked Gladius. It was missing some elements, such as diplomacy. But I did like it as a 4X. That looks like a pretty tasty army coming out of there. I take a wild guess and say that's probably the Purgatory attacking these guys. We've expanded our garrison a little bit more with a protector here as well, which is beautiful to see. And we could actually build up this place. I think I have to do it from this map level. That unlocks just more money, more hymns. Garrison units heal 20% of their turn as well, to a maximum of 3 units. We can also build trailblazer cards here. Versatile construct turrets valued as scouts and for their ability to break through magical shields. Costs 10 hymns. In this city, we got the ability to do transport constructs. I like the idea of these guys. What do they do? They've got good armor. They're fast, unwavering. They summon warriors in combat constantly. And they also have Pioneer 2. So they're kind of like better firstborn civilians. I reckon let's take this army out here. Fight these guys. See what happens. My hero is really getting into some dangerous situations. I appreciate how much of a Chad Lord he is. But he could really do with being safer. Zephon, yes, that's the name of it. Different dev team, but whatever, we can't all ally with the puns. Diplomacy, I think, is added into Zephon, but also some English words, random encounters. So like events as well. Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I'm excited to check it out. Gladius was a good game. It was well built. We've leveled up. We've got some loot wagons. Let's take this level up. Encamp army. Play on a friendly army that's not in siege or inside a location. Lose all remaining movement and return to battle ready formation. All units immediately heal for 20% of their total health We get supply to heal every turn, and a power bonus is 2 as long as we remain in camp. The effect lasts until the army moves. So having this in my main army is not a terrible choice. We have an empower ability, or we could also increase the constructorium so that it creates 12 building materials instead of 9 per turn. I like the idea of being able to encamp with our main army. That way I can always keep them on the frontier. And I don't need to worry about falling back to supply locations. We might as well test these guys out in a small fight. Target enemies receive a penalty of 15 move speed and 20% attack speed. Additionally, they cannot charge. So she has different cards, of course. Target enemy units are turned to gold for 7 seconds. Their defense is increased by 4 and they're considered stunned. Combatants slain while gold reward extra gold when the battle is over. I mean, hard not to turn literally all of them into gold then. How do you say no to that? The final card is retreat. All characters get the retreat card. See if we can get a little bit paid. I love the idea of turning people to gold and then killing them. It's very fitting. Good way to fund your army. Are abilities always available? Yes, so the encamp ability is available as long as you're not in a building, in a location. It just costs some money to cast. Over here, we have a monster lair, a rune inhabited by dangerous creatures that will spawn creature armies until it's destroyed. It is full of these giant tree rose people, as well as pig people and puppy dogs. This bridge is actually going to be so important for us to keep. You're out of movement. You're out of movement. He is healing ever so slightly because he actually has the healer trait. A siege has happened over here, and you can see, there you go. The Purgatory moves across, wipes that place off the map. So I got to be worried because they are within range of me. They could come attack this bridge, which obviously I don't want to have happen. And speaking of diplomacy, there's not really a lot of it in this. You are often at each other's throats all the time. So we have a little bit of money. This place is ready to be built up again. What I could actually do is spend money on building materials. Because we built a supply depot here. And then we build it up again, and it's worth even more gold. Now, I think if you attack, it's going to be a bad time. This is a military fort. This unit needs to be besieged for a turn, though the time can be reduced by siege units. Maybe it would be okay, actually, with just her. If we were so inclined, we could probably drop them off some units. So, for example, I could take one of the loot wagons for either side. She currently doesn't have anything to make things cheaper to build, so I'm actually going to give her the transport carrier. It provides me a bit more chonky support. You know what? Let's do something like this. Because this guy's going to spit out warriors that will reinforce him. And then I'll give the loot wagon over to these guys. And it would probably be best. Oh, I thought I had enough movement for that. Okay, we're actually stuck outside that town. A little bit dangerous. There's a chance we lose that bridge. I'm hoping it's not the case. Why is this game low-key German themed? How so? Part of me feels like all strategy games are a little bit low-key German themed. Nice. These guys made another protector. So they can only have a maximum of 3 units in the garrison. They will keep forming protectors, but I wonder whether or not putting those warriors in there are the right decision. Most location names are German. It's made by a Ukrainian team, for what it's worth. This is a battle, so why don't we fight it before we do anything else? I didn't quite get to stop those guys yet. I tell you what, we're going to turn these guys to gold so that they stop shooting all my warriors. And we have time to close that gap. Obviously, my beast here is getting destroyed because of that decision. But I think he's got it figured out. He's safe. He's still alive. We can lock these guys up a little bit. It gets a bit more complicated when you end up... Higher level armies end up having a lot of different cards. Schwartband means sword ban. Are we banning everybody from using swords in here? We won! It worked! Just like the encyclopedia says. She gets herself a nice little tiny level up here as well. We can unlock. Turn artifacts into gold, or turn loot wagons into artifacts. Fallen combatants of target units have a 10% chance to be revived. Damaged combatants are healed up to 1 health. Or upgrade to Alchemical Touch. Reduces the defensive bonus from 4 to 2 and increases the rewards for killing enemies that are turned to gold. I mean, I feel like I gotta take that. I gotta be a greedy little gold boy. So this town is a fort. We can summon Vogel-free infantry, Vogel-free cavalry, Concordas. I don't know what that is. Build up. It also has a defensive fire battle card, So anyone who controls this location gets an extra card, for example, that can shoot arrows. It makes gold. It's fortified. It has supply. What would actually be really nice, probably, is a constructorium. That'll give us some more building materials per turn. Which I think will help. Let's just summon War Titans. I am concerned about everybody's HP here right now. Vocal-free infantry and vocal-free cavalry. Coward, pillage, rogues with pillage. So these guys get bonuses if you use them to destroy locations. So for example, I probably don't want anything over here, given all the purgatories roaming around. Pillaging stuff on that side might be worth doing. Realistically, I should have probably built an Iridium here for the gold income. And the +1 supply. But I think it's okay. We need to diversify our economy a little bit. So those guys are stuck there. This guy is not stuck here. I want to deposit these little pigs. So I'm going to have to run into this town for a moment. And I tell you what, I think it'd be a good idea if we turn these civilians into warriors. So that we have a little bit of running around that we can do. We have supply 1 here. We don't have supply here, but I am concerned about the bridge being taken, so I am just going to move back into it. And then I'll probably try to get a trailblazer next. Do some scouting with those dudes. We could actually even grab the extra set of warriors from here, because they will keep spawning more garrison units, so. What is the main gag in the game? Campaign is pretty short. The campaign is, I believe, 8 missions. I think the skirmish mode is the main gag. If you like playing this kind of strategy, then you have an interesting world map, interesting events that you can go into. It's got a lot of replayability in terms of unlocking things and trying out different types of units, different heroes, different vocations for different heroes. I'm being sieged. Here we go. Perfect example. Sieged in 2 turns by the Crusade. That's another one of these Purgatory factions. Oh man, we got a lot of healing we need to do here too. What happened? They were sieging me and then they stopped? Looks like they decided to siege me and then turn it back around. Ruined altar, ruined altar. Okay, so there was a Purgatory up here, but it has moved on. The thing is that Purgatories destroy locations and leave them in silence. So you need special units that can remove silence or special artifacts if you want to be able to take those back. I'm just going to kill some bugs in the meantime. because I feel like it's a good idea just to level up our units a bit. Also, if that Purgatory is not immediately on our doorstep, it can't immediately come destroy us. So we can loot, we can scoot. We could encamp. And actually, we're a fair bit wounded. So I'm going to build those guys up for right now. Let them see what's happening. It does say we have another crusade coming in from this way, which is another one of these Purgatory guys. So I'm a little bit worried that my territory is going to end up just being this small corner of the map. And I'm going to have a hard time stretching out of here. I don't have enough to summon a new hero yet. But maybe soon. You guys are healing supply 1. That loot wagon's got 29 bucks in it. You guys at heal supply 3. And we know it takes 2 turns for that location to be sieged. So if we come back here, we'll heal much better. We've got enough money that we could summon another unit of warriors in here. It don't seem like the worst idea. This guy could also definitely use some more units. He's only got 4 out of 6 right now. Is Purgatory like an Age of Wonders infestation? No, so those are more like monster dens, monster layers. Purgatories are teleporters that allow you to move to the other world, the dark world. And then they also corrupt any province that they touch. So this is an NPC one. But the computer player ones can move around the map and destroy locations and leave them in silence. So you got to be careful with them. You are fully healed. That is a mine location. There's a lot of good resources here. Going over 4. We could attack this mine and try to take it. We've got some tough enemies. Rose Knights, Mandragoras, Gigapedes. It does look like that Purgatory went north. This card just gets building materials, so... This army is also still healing. She heals 15% per turn to all units. And what's in here? Also a pretty mean army. I'm gonna wait 1 turn with her in the forest here hiding. That's an easy win, so I tell you what. I want to get some scouting. Oh, those guys got demolished by that ranged attack. mean. Get him up the level as well. The faction is like the Dark World. Is it playable? Yes. Yeah, you can play as the Crusade. So there's two worlds, and neither of them are evil. They just, the idea was that the old one race, and then there's the Starborns. So there were the old ones, and then there's basically the humans. And they were fighting all the time until the old world was like, okay, we're going to make our own planet. We're going to rip the world in half. We're going to make two planets, and that's how we're going to stay separated, so we don't not fighting all the time. And then the Crusade showed up, who opened up these purgatories. And this is kind of the plot of the campaign, teaches you a little bit about all this. Call for aid. 20% attack speed and movement speed. Yeah, why not? Let's take a new card here. We got some good charging, guys. We are stuck out in the open. We're a little bit wounded, but not too bad. I could in camp again here, but I don't know that I want to. That's ruined. Man, this place is purgatoried to heck. I'm a little bit worried my army's going to get caught out here. There it is. The orange purgatory. So I know that the green purgatory, those were the guys that came down and attacked us here. Which I guess means they're all fighting each other. Now, we could potentially make a play on this purgatory. It's got 4 garrison units, though. And traditionally, they are big, bad monsters. So they're very hard to take. So I probably won't try to fight them. This place has leveled up. So we can build it up a little bit. I think that unlocked Fortified 2. Or maybe just the income. Summon a random unit. Oh, it summons a random Concorda. You know what? I don't know what these are. So let's find out. I got Firstborn Rogue Infantry. Shunned. They do extra damage from battles, extra gold from battles, pillage location, and explored locations. They also get Evade, +2 power when defending against attacks, or +1 power when defending against attacks from slow units. Cannot be hit as targets of a trample. Each rank negates a rank of enemy accuracy. They are also accurate. Interesting. So they're criminal firstborns. Now, it does not look like I can actually get down to this location. Oh, I can! We'll stop the charges on all those guys. And then I guess let's stun all of this. They're going back for a second round charge here. My warriors are being ever so careful. We can reduce everyone's attack speed, it looks like, with this attack. And then look, another great gold stun here. These big Mandragora are doing some pretty ugly damage. But if we clear out this area, then we have this whole corner of the map in protected. Nice safe space. Those guys look dead. Turn them all to gold. They do take less damage from that, but buys times for everyone else to get in. We don't have a lot of ranged. It's a lot of melee. I'm not cut out to lead an army, she says. I don't know that that's true. I think you did okay. We get another level up here. Place on an empty slot to summon a random plant unit or evolve existing plant units. Or target friends become immune to negative morale and fear and gain 1 power. I like the idea of her being able to summon plants into her army. That feels fitting. There's a whole bunch of armies out this way, and then it looks like another fortress over here. So this is a ruined location. Access to the rebuild card will become monster layers after a while. I mean, let's rebuild it, see what's here. A tree. An old race settlement. So there's building materials, there's him. There's a bit of supply. If we have level 2, we can build forlorn cavalry. $7 gold and 1 supply allows us to build roses, alchemical. I mean, I feel like that's not a terrible choice for here. The other option is just 2 him and a rank of garrison. I don't really think it needs the garrison. We're going to build this fancy building. Now, we got a cobalt with 80 gold in it. We could transmute it into an artifact. 80 gold's a lot of gold, though. There's also rose knights available here. Slow armored walking plants that reflect damage back on melee attackers. I think that she gets bonuses for leading plants. Oh, maybe she doesn't. Most heroes get a bonus for leading a different type of unit. So my main guy gets bonuses for leading construct-based units, for example. I'm going to have her plant some of these guys. Slow, chunky boys. You know what? Let's do something like this, this, and this. And then he can come crushing in afterwards, maybe. On a flank. Bury it up a little bit. Chords, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the agency. All right, so they're stuck there for now. That is a dangerous fight for us. It says, these look dangerous. Easy win. You're kind of neutral. That's dangerous. I don't know where this guy's armies are. For right now, we might as well just clean up some trash. We'll empower our units. Stun these guys. think I better revive our dudes down here. But this guy looks like he's going to be doing some nasty, nasty damage. Speed these guys up because I want them to get back here ASAP. This giant pig man is doing some real damage. Not retreat. I want that heal card. All right, well, look, we didn't lose any of our units completely. But we do got a few wounded in here. Poor little piggy. Poor little piggy. Wow, and I actually don't even have enough to encamp even if I wanted to. 91 gold in the loot wagon. Loses 1 prosperity per turn and cannot be rebuilt. I don't want to have this mine get destroyed, but I think I'm going to have struggled to keep it alive. Yeah, he just moved his whole Purgatory back here. The thing is, I don't know where his army is. It is a level 4 Purgatory. Our primary town has not managed to level up much at all yet. Has to be connected to the network by light veins by placing buildings. Each connected location increases the prosperity growth by 1 per turn. So a bit of a problem I have here is, for whatever reason, the building that I built in Walsim created its own fountainhead network. I thought it was going to connect me. So I'm missing +2 to my capital growth here. That's actually why this location grew so fast. Because of that supply card. We are quite a bit wounded here. But there is a supply 2 card. Play on a friendly army, purchase a random artifact for 80 gold. I mean, I could certainly go beat up any of those armies. He can't attack with the Purgatory. So in theory, this place is still somewhat safe. But every single fight that we are looking at appears to be dangerous. So I'm wondering about just peeling back and getting some better troops. The War Titans are very expensive. 120 hymns. I could put these guys in the garrison here and they will heal. And we will also back them up if a fight happens. So I reckon let's do that. These guys are all wounded, but it's not terrible. These are not small armies, though, so I'm still going to stay... We're still going to stay put here for a turn. Not overexpand too much. And he just moved his Purgatory up north. No, he moved his army up north and his Purgatory out east. Man, this river is a really interesting dynamic for us. We got enough money that we could hire another hero. And I'll tell you, I'm not against the idea. What is this card? Is this one slow? Stop charge. Think so. I mostly just want to freeze this big guy. He's doing such a nasty amount of damage. All right, we can hit everybody with this debuff now. This is pretty nice. And I think we can hit everybody with that gold spell. Which is fantastic. Yeah, this one's not so bad at all. Big pig completely surrounded. Worked just as the encyclopedia said. And we get another level up. Womp, 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 womp. We can upgrade that debuff. We can fallen combat units heal. 20% attack speed, 50% movement speed. Movement speed penalty from -15 to -30, and attack speed penalty from -20 to -35. I'm actually going to upgrade this one. It's such a large area. It feels really strong for her to use. I can also evolve plants. Wild Beast Knight, Wild Beast Horror. So I'm curious, if I got a Rose Knight here, I could probably upgrade it. These are fancy. They have block, armor, reflect damage. They're slow, so they're good at protecting things. But I'm just so tempted. I kind of want to know. Oh, no, I can't upgrade them. I could upgrade my other dweebs, though. So let's do that. We're going to upgrade these guys to Dornwers, which are actually ranged units. With Weapon Master, attack at range. Weapon Masters do not suffer penalties when engaged in melee combat. They've got good armor. They do AoEs. I tell you what, let's just put the slow knights in front of them. And then I feel like we've got the whole gang here. I have 161 gold in loot wagons. Though I'll probably wait and destroy that other army there first. These guys are hurting. Hurting. Those warriors are still heavily wounded. You know what? These are still easy wins, though. Good XP. I guess let's buff all of them. Speed them up a little bit. I feel like I don't have nearly enough giant monstrous constructs in my army. It's certainly the vibe of what I'm missing right now. These poor guys are just getting dunked on. I like this guy who throws giant lightning bolts in the back. It's a satisfying touch. We are getting good levels on our guy. Call for aid. We can upgrade the empowerment. Or we can upgrade the call for life. Heals up to 2 ticks. 15% chance to revive. Let's take Empower. Make it so the big guys just hit for stronger. We could all do with some more giant iron constructs. Ain't that the truth? You're sitting on a few good loot piggies now as well. If I could get some loot piggies back, we could certainly hire more troops. The Crusade! So this is one of the Purgatory armies attacking us. They got one guy riding in on a big palanquin. Let's probably cast this guy over here. Let him push back these armies. My main hero is doing pretty good at tying up all of these guys. And he actually retreated. Sound strategy executed without fail. So that's good to see. He can't really retreat much further, so we can kill off that army right now. Oh, unless the neutrals do it for us. Greasy. This bridge is ready to be leveled up. Does it say what happens when I increase it? Unlock new cards and improved perks. So I'm what? 15, 2, 1, and 3. Bow, 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 bow. So I just got an extra 5 gold a turn, is effectively what that cost me. I do wish it had some fortification on it so that it could withstand a siege. Damn, those lightning bolts coming in hot. A lot of that cavalry just managed to avoid that. But they're trashed. It's no problem for my main army. My main army, also known as my weakest army. There are artifacts you can get that clear out all of this silence, which is likely what I would need to do if I really want to make any true movement here. This has been cleared, so I can actually move an army down there and explore the underworld. We transformed a loot wagon into an artifact. Upon closer inspection, the artifact turns out to be the real deal. It's made of valuable materials, shows signs of true antiquity, and excludes an aura of distinctive power. There's always a chance this won't work well for you. Units gain plus power buff power when defending this location. The bonus is doubled if the location is fortified or for guardian type units. Interesting. Or for guardian type units. How many can you have? Just the one garrison, because we built a constructorium. If I put that artifact here, all of these protectors will get a super huge buff. Down south, left some neutrals down here still. Yes, yep. They're probably what we're going to go for. I just wanted to see whether or not the artifact would give us anything to make this a little bit easier. I like that they're so close to the city that I do not have to leave. That was entirely the wrong spell. I meant to cast that on the bad guys, not on the me guys. But it's okay. We got our back row and then our front row of chaff that just fills it all out. It's kind of neat that we just have this wall of warriors and this tower here just keeps pumping out additional warriors to reinforce. Truth be told, he should probably be in the middle, seeing as the other guys are all ranged. Not cut out to lead an army, she says. 116 gold. Oh, Posh, you lost a single unit. You're perfectly fine at leading an army. Heal, immune to events, or increased light link. I'm going to give you the increased light link. Right now, our him resources are really bad. 1 rank of garrison. Yeah, okay, so that would also be pretty good there. But I do want to take this location. Supply storage. So also, if I take this, I'll be able to deposit the loot wagons. It's got mostly just a bunch of basic infantry. 1 set of oath sworn, which look a little bit fancier. We're stuck up there. They're stuck up there. Ah, they blew up the mine. I knew they might, but I hoped they wouldn't. It's not a huge army, but the garrison there is still really tough. So, okay, I have enough to get another hero. I think I should do this. I'll get a Mondika because we don't have one. She comes in with Harbingers, which are flying healer units. And a couple of civilians. Which realistically, I'm going to just want to put into warriors right away. She herself is gives bonuses to believers. Flies, reflects, does line damage. I think she's also infantry. Firstborn infantry believers. So these guys, Harbingers, get a +2 bonus with her. I don't know who else counts as believers. But she can also spawn life nodes, Ah, +4 him income, +1 supply, and unlocks Dispel Silence, which protects locations from silence. So if I remember correctly, that's a special, basically a special unit that she can summon. I want to move over all my little piggies to you. We've got 3.6. So if I go 2.6, I can start sieging. And then I'm going to turn her around and let her deposit that stuff off. I mean, these guys are okay. There is a small army up here in this garrison. That I think we should probably take. Hydro posture checks, thank you. I don't know who I want to buff. Maybe these guys. Uh-oh. Starting to get units that jump on the back lines. Ooh, and are doing some serious damage. All right. We definitely need to regroup and get this army healed up and reinforced and many other things. That was a bit of a beating. Songs of Silence, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Welcome on in. Assuming you are your own account. Congratulations. The 1.0 release is very exciting. All right, we'll do a little more skirmishing around. These guys have two different armies, it looks like. Coming in and out of Purgatory. Hello, hello. Glad to see you playing your game. I played it first at launch, checked out a bit of the campaign. I really liked it. I called it my most promising strategy game of the year, was the name of my YouTube video. And I still stand by that. It's nice to see the improvements that have been made so far. All right, where we have storage. We have storage here and we have storage here. Let's deposit our little loot wagons. Get us some cash so that we can get some more warriors. I think maybe we say something like that for them. And then if I could, it's 60 him for one of those transport constructs, so we're probably not going to grab one of them. But we'll start moving up here so that at least we can defend that bridge properly. Which also we need to fall back, wildly fall back on. Very unique. And not unique in a good way. Congrats for thinking of the console gamers. Yes. I'm a PC main, but I know we got so many console people in the chat. What requires me to need this much building material is a question I have right now. You're level 3. You're level 3. You're almost level 2. You're ready to be upgraded. And if I upgrade you, I can start making forlorn cavalry, which again are pillagers. Though maybe not a bad idea to grab. Let's see how this siege goes. And whether or not our poor little bridge gets attacked. Orange is attacking us down here. Not a huge army. But, if they were to take this, they could actually move that Purgatory across the river. I'm pretty sure. I think we'll be okay. Do traits stack like Pillager 1, 2, and 3? No, I think it just takes whatever the biggest one is. Certainly my understanding. Hello, army. Can we attack this? Yes. Perfect. So debuff all of them. No, it's a bloodbath. You see the arrows coming in from the garrison card every now and then. This army has such a front line. It's crazy. The Rose Knights ran all the way back to defend. I'm not clear on their logic, but I'm going to believe in them. We managed to just turn every single person to gold. Oh, that's so much money. Oh, that's so much money. Delicious. We rich. We're going to make a ton of cash from this fight. Whew. Those archer garrisons are putting in work. No, I'm not cut out to lead an army. Extra 55, okay. I'm still pretty sure we're putting in about 300 bucks here. Between this and the other supply wagons we moved out. We do need to repair the place before we get access. Which we can do by building any number of buildings in here. A light link would add us 1 rank of garrison. Garrison 2, fortified 2. As well as the him income that we so desperately need. The other option is a life node, which is 4 him and a supply, as well as access to harbingers and dispel silence. But I think let's just drop a light link in here for now. This connects it all the way back as well, so it boosts our capital. We can even build it up immediately because we have enough supplies for it. Prideful. Play on a unit of warriors to recruit a unit of prideful. Heavily armored knights that act as slow but reliable line breakers. Hell yeah. Devastating charge. When charging, this attack hits automatically and ignores 1 rank of armor per unit of devastating charge. They're slow. Successful hits deal 2 damage instead of 1. And this unit gains +1 power for every other friendly guardian type unit in the army. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, so if we actually put them in her army. Wow, that would be really nasty. No, believer, sorry. They're not believers, they're guardians. Correct. Okay, never mind, never mind. I thought we had a crazy stackable thing there. All right, well, you're stuck put. You look like you can't quite make it, but maybe you can. That siege is being sieged. I'm going to move you 7. I'm going to regroup with you. I'm going to give you all of these knights. I'm gonna give you all of these loot pigs. Hope I don't regret that. And then we're gonna hit this siege. Break the siege. Feels like we've got a strong start in here. Heal up all of our guys. Absolutely crush this hero by the look of it. Oh, there's the retreat. We almost killed him. You know, I wonder if I had left them, would I have been able to sneak over and grab that kill? We can upgrade the camp, giving us better healing, additional power formation. You know what? I actually like that idea. Hopefully he cannot get to me here before I have a chance to drop off my piggies. Artifact wagon that buffs the guardians. Yeah, so I want to put that up here in the bridge because I don't have fortifications here, but I do have a tier 3 garrison with a whole bunch of constructs. And this is sort of my chokehold against all of the purgatories in the east. And people like this massive army of thralls and little monsters. Probably not the toughest, but still scary. So you're going to deposit those loot wagons. A lot of money right now. I could build more building materials. This place is a constructatorium. What else can I make here? Only war titans. This man has a ton of empty slots. I'm going to summon a Concorda. Right. These are the firstborn rogues with pillage. You know what? Let's also summon cavalry. That can be my army for now. We're very forward marching. 8 out of 9 units, though. Feels strong. I could make more prideful. And I'm having a hard reason saying, why wouldn't I do that? These are some beefy lads. Summon up those electric hounds. Give them the goop. Oh, cool. Because I'm attacking outside my fortification, I can also use that arrow ability. Oh my god. It's just like one big hit from any of the ranged can do so much splash damage. It's absolutely devastating. Just slaughters anything they hit. Break them into pieces. All right, we have a really good defensive back against the wall here right now. I'm going to upgrade her plant, her plant upgrade card. I don't want to spend any him until I can get one of these war titans, because I actually feel like that's really key to this army right now. 120, so 2 turns I could get one. You've got enough money to grab some more warriors. So I'd feel a fool not to do that. And then this artifact gets to go in this garrison. So it looks like we probably gain +3 power defending this location. Doubled for guardian type units. It just says plus power buff, but I'm assuming if he has a 3 power as an artifact, it probably means him. I do have some warriors I could take out of here, but I actually don't mind leaving them in. This is still a really ugly side that until we have some forward momentum is going to be... Until we have the buildings that can get rid of purgatories, it's a tricky spot. All right, you're going to camp. This is another bridge. I think I'm going to have to use her ability back here on this depot. Oh, I'm being attacked. Oh, I'm being attacked by the huge army. Okay, what are our cards do here for her? Because we haven't actually looked at her yet. Place an area for 20 seconds. Friendly units within this area gain 1 power and slowly regen. Effects from overlapping areas do not stack. Target enemies are pushed away and receive an attack of 3 power. Him areas, draw him areas also explode. All friendly units, flying units, fly to the target location. Okay. Oh, those poor guys. I'm gonna try to heal them. I don't know that that's the right choice. You know what? Let's do that. It'll overlap and hurt all of them. That seemed fairly strong. All of our constructs are doing really well. These are all flying units. So let's fly them in to do some damage. Nice. And then they retreated. Man, I'm really glad we showed up with our army there when we did. I actually don't know if we would have been able to survive that if we didn't have those couple of knights. If everything had just faced against the constructs. All right, so I want to upgrade her first. New, a citadel. Adds garrison supply, fortified, and storage. Unlocks garrants and warriors. Oh, wow. Probably getting that. Draw him increased, or glory. Target enemies are stunned for 6 seconds. Also overlaps with the draw him. Garrison 1, fortified, and storage. Right now, this place just has a light link, so it's producing me extra hymns. But this now means that this place cannot be taken in a single turn. Furthermore, I can summon these dudes. Slayer, Gestalt, Void, Celestial, Light Eater, Monster 3. Must be played on a unit of warriors. Specialized slayers of supernatural creatures. Can I cast it on these guys and will it bring them to full health? It does. Swift attack. Pierce. Banish. +3 power when attacking Gestalt, Void, Celestial, Man-Eater monsters. Evade and accurate. Oh, that's so good. I love that for us. You know what? I'm also going to build a Trailblazer. I know I said I wasn't going to build all this new stuff, but these guys have the Scout ability. Increases army sight radius and discovers hidden armies within sight. When ambushed, units of this army are only stunned for 1.5 seconds, and power is reduced to 1. Penalty to power is reduced to 1. Scouts also work when in reserve. They've also got Annihilate. They also have range damage. Okay. I could also probably... My army here is full. Think about adding in another unit of warriors. This game is cool, but 40 euros is a little pricey for early access. It comes out on Wednesday. It's 1.0 on Wednesday. Early access, no more. +4 him, +1 supply. What do we have in here right now? A depot, which gives us supply. And transport constructs. I tell you what, we're also going to build a life node here. Which I was hoping was going to connect it. Yes, okay, so... I can then take this army, bring them down here, and recruit this guy. A Dispel Silence cavalry wagon. So when this artifact is inside a location afflicted with silence, the silence effect is removed. Now, here's a question. Is it permanently removed? Or only removed while he's there? This is an altar. A layer of Gestalts. I can't imagine I can possibly dispel a Purgatory, but I could start dispelling this stuff. More importantly is I could probably dispel that ruined bridge. Interesting. You're fully healed. You don't need to be encamped anymore. So if I was to fold her back this way, I could take this toll bridge, dispel it, build a citadel there, and I'd be sitting kind of pretty. I actually have an incredibly defensible location. Looks awesome. How is the gameplay? It's good. It's a little bit auto battler, a little bit Heroes of Might and Magic. It's a good vibe. €40 for early access, sure, but this is full release. I think it's actually fair. Yeah. There is 8 campaign maps, as well as, I think they said something like 150 skirmish maps. A lot. Oh, our capital finally hit level 2. Yes. Now we can build Lancers. Oh, cool. So those constructs that we have that fire those absolute laser beam death comets, we can start building these guys now too. Not just War Titans. War Titans that we really cannot afford to build. So, do I want to stay here? Can I encamp in this location? Interesting. I can. I'm going to send them east, swap them out. Oh no, I can't encamp while I'm inside. Okay. But what I can do is I can actually set an ambush here. There is a neutral Purgatory here, and it looks like actually another old race. Yes. The purple player has come through this Purgatory. It's very confusing. It looks like there's also buildings here. Game will be a bit cheaper on release. We're lowered the price on the 1.0 launch. Okay. That's amazing. I don't like this orange hanging around here. He's got me scared. Skirmish versus AI and players. Yes, it does have multiplayer. Yeah. We're just rocking an AI skirmish this morning. Just to get a feel. Just to get a vibe. I did a little bit of the campaign. If you actually check on the YouTube channel, if you go back, you can see the first 2 missions of the campaign that we played on release. In case you're looking for a feel. I mean, we might as well just chill here for a minute. You guys got this silence dispel. Grab a few more warriors. 5 out of 5 here. I don't have any builder units in this army. And I really don't want to leave. You're super wounded, actually. And you're mostly wounded. Still kind of tough, though. I think we should wait for the second army to show up. And in the meantime, let's poke our nose where it doesn't belong and see what this Purgatory is all about. So when you go to Purgatories, you can world walk. Because I had to show this up today. And you can travel to the Dark World, where we can see purple has a few cities, as well as a great big old army right here that I really don't want to fight. There's some Gestalt void armies wandering around. It's some fancy looking locations. Is this wrapped in silence? It is. We don't really have a good reason for hanging out there. So I'm just going to guard that so that nobody else can teleport through. There's an old ruined layer there. But in order for us to get further anywhere, we have to start dispelling silence. That place is fully upgraded. That place is fully upgraded. These guys are still slowly growing in prosperity. We got the strange disconnect. I guess because I made that a fountainhead. I wish I could switch it. But it ain't the end of the world. Dispel silence. We can also make harbingers here, which are those flying believer units who get buffs in that other army as well. We are time traveling today. Yeah. Capital seems low. My first city. Yeah. So the old race capitals, they level up based on how many light networks are connected to them. They gain 1 prosperity per turn per connected building. So the first 2 places I connected weren't connected to my capital. So it didn't grow until we really started grabbing some other locations. I'm glad we stayed here. I forgot that we had fortifications up, that we actually have a round of siege. But it's still nice that we have the opportunity. There's a lot of orange units around. Which it makes sense considering the Purgatory is right there. So, if I was to come up with you, perhaps come out with you, could you win that fight? Maybe. You definitely could, though. So let's march on out. Connected light artworks, not the lizard men again. Let's stop that charge. I think we'll drop some fire on these guys in the back with the archers. Let's turn them to gold. Don't let that guy get away. We've got lots of good guardians here doing extra damage as well. I'm gonna debuff their attack speed so we get hit with a little less of that. And then as soon as this is up, we'll hit them again. Killed their hero right before he could retreat. Nice. Nice. Now we can't move any further. Our poor Rose Knights. We have Pridefuls. Oh yes, Garants are based off of warriors. I tell you what. I'm gonna plant some more guys. So we have our Rose Knights, we have our Alarvins, and we have our Pridefuls. And right now, I'm actually going to take the Garants out of here. These guys could probably benefit from healing. They've lost a lot of units. Keep them in the reserve for right now. I could drop another unit of warriors into here. But I could also... Oh, I'm 1 gold off being able to recruit another hero. That's tough. That's some scruff McGruff. So these guys are cavalry rogue, infantry rogue, starborn. None of them are believers. I want to move you up there next turn. This has actually become a ruin at the moment. But that's okay. Our guys being there knocks that off so that they don't spawn any more additional units. That's feeling safe. We're feeling good. How can we heal heroes after battle? There's a couple different ways. So some heroes have abilities like healer. So they heal all units in the army, 8% per turn. Alternatively, some locations will have supply. So they regenerate 8% if they're in this location. Or if they have garrison, they will heal 8% if they are in the garrison. So you can always transfer your units into the garrison if you need them to heal up and you don't have any supply. So for example, units in the garrison here, I actually should have moved all of my units that need to heal into the garrison because they would have healed faster. But I'm also trying to spawn in more units. So there's a bit of a balance between the two. There's a neutral army here. Whoa, okay. One of the Purgatory players just got killed by this character, who was sitting here on ignore the slow perk of units, reduce cost of strategic cards by 15%, gain access to trade cards. The man's got a Lancer in reserve. Prideful warriors. That would actually be really good to hit. So he just killed Orange. He just destroyed Orange's Purgatory. And all of Orange's units turn neutral. One, two, three, four, five. So that's the first character down off the map. He's got 11 units in his army, but not all of them are currently out. This guy's got an army, but it's mostly civilians and Lancers. And I could very much set a trap for him. You need to go here because it will get rid of the silence. And then I can rebuild this location. Harbinger and dispel silence. This building protects the location from silence. Placing a building immediately ends the unrest state. Okay. I do want a citadel here, which does mean this guy has to stay in the garrison. Otherwise, I permanently am going to be fighting silence here. But he's in a cozy little spot. So we have garrisons on both of our borders. So no one can come into our territory without siege equipment or without taking at least a couple of turns to siege. These armies are still very much healing up. Rose Knight's anger rants. You're 8 out of 8. You're 5 out of 9. I feel like I'd be a fool not to try this. This stops units from being able to charge. So let's cast that. It'll also slow down that attack in the back. I think we'll turn all of these guys to gold. I was debating just doing it on him, just so that he couldn't hit us with anything, but I'm okay with this. She jumped into a bunch of melee ranged units. This could be messy, but the potential for reward is astronomical. I feel like my debuff ability there did not fire. Nice. Bunch of them got triggered with gold. The hero is killed. I guess this counts as a siege, so I don't know that they can retreat. One of my big plants might be dead. My big beast might even be dead. Ooh, he is. A costly fight. I'm just going to stun him. He does too much damage. It's disgusting. Ooh. His units might just be better than mine. I thought this fight was completely in the bag. Turn him off again. Don't let him hit me with anything else. Are we doing the campaign? No, we're just doing a skirmish. I wanted to get a feel with what's changed since we played the game at launch. And I thought this would be the best way to do it. All right, let's drop the stun on him. Give our guys time to actually get into range. Starting to feel like I don't know whether or not he is breakable here. Ah, he runs at the last minute. We lost all of our Alaroon, our Prideful, our Garant, our Rose Knights, and Purzel. We pick up some other nice goodies, though. This would upgrade Alchemical Touch so that it no longer gives them defensive boosts. I really like that. Oh, she got to run. I thought I was going to get to capture all of those little loot wagons. And I'm seeing now that I am very incorrect in that guess. Which has me a little bit worried. I want to spend that. No, I'm just going to put some warriors in the reserve here. Just so there's a couple of units. Bonus. These guys keep an eye on that Purgatory right now, though he'd probably need to move east. The fact that all of these Purgatories just got busted is a huge, huge game changer. I have the opportunity now to decide where I want to actually move up from. The thing is that we have Purgatory so just on every single side of us. I suppose it doesn't hurt to see what's on the other side of this. It hurts very much. That might have just been the end of that army. Retreat! 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 Absolutely disastrous. So she doesn't really have an army anymore. I wanted to see where that Purgatory hole went. And you can see it's coming over here. So this guy has an army there. Another army here. Consisting of a bunch of these Purzels. Oh, he's got all sorts of different kinds. He's got Purzel Chargers. Purzels. and forest wardens, which are like ranged versions. That's really cool. And then this guy has a bunch of lancers as well. Woof. Those are some mean armies. The computer did a really good job at leveling up his starter location right away, so that he could summon lasers. And I did not do that. So probably the way this campaign has to go is I have to retreat to our borders, rebuild my armies, turtle a little bit, and then start pushing back out once it's a bit safe to do so. It's tricky that there's 3 purgatories here, here, and here. I think this was green's purgatory, and they destroyed that. Then that one was orange, and that one was the neutral one. It just makes it much harder to hold any of these other areas, but my homeland here is very safe and secure, so. Yeah, and unfortunately, once you attack, you can't attack again. So that's all you can really do in a round. But I tell you what, with our borders safe and secured, with a couple of fortresses down, with garrisons on the edges, on the bridges, protecting our little homeland back here, I think we leave the skirmish at that for the day. And we get our first look back into Songs of Silence to see what's up with the 1.0 release. Folks, if you like it, let me know your thoughts. If you want to see more, I've been thinking about doing this campaign on stream because I really do like the game, and I am very curious about the world at large. The lore of this game is really interesting. It's really deep. The skirmish maps, this is a small skirmish map, so you can imagine playing on the really big ones. They can get quite huge, and there's a lot of different armies running around and battling. Interesting army dynamics with movement, getting stuck out on forced march versus going for encampments for ambush. The movement system is really cool. I love the way that the cities level up. Honestly, I think this game is fascinating. I think it's got a lot of really interesting stuff, and I'd like to dive into it a little bit more, but that's going to be our first look at it today. So thank you for joining us.